The Presidential Decree Number 603, known as the Youth and Welfare Code, declares that the child is the most important asset of our nation. This law mandates the state, the family, and institutions to exert effort to promote the welfare and enhance the opportunities of every child for a useful and happy life. Presidential Decree Number 603 enumerates also the 12 rights of every child, which can be categorized into 4 basic rights: the protection rights, the survival rights, the development rights, and the participation rights. At this moment, allow us to present to you the programs, projects, and activities that the City of Cadiz, through the efforts of various departments, implemented for the betterment and development of Cadiznon children. Children placed in juvenile center are not only provided with temporary shelter but also food assistance. Every child placed in juvenile holding center because of various offenses undergo one-on-one counseling sessions and family counseling in order for them to be aware of the consequences and effects of their actions and be more discerning in making judgments, decisions, and actions about moral issues. According to RA 9344, or the Juvenile Justice Welfare Act of 2006, defines diversion program as those programs that the CICL is required to undergo after he or she is found responsible for an offense without resorting to formal court proceedings. Placing a child at the juvenile holding center does not mean that they are guilty of the crime they have committed and their rights are withdrawn from them. Hence, these still need to be provided with a shelter that feels like home. Children are not criminals but only victims of circumstances. Republic Act 9262, or the Anti-Violence Against Women and Children Act, states that all women and their children shall be protected from all kinds of violence, and those women and children who are victims of abuse must be provided with assistance such as shelter, financial, medical, and protection assistance. Assisting vulnerable children who are victims of circumstances does not only end after the rescue operation and provision of various assistance. The minor victims are monitored for 6 months to ensure their full recovery and integration to the community. Under the Child Welfare Program of CSWD Office, the social workers are tasked to assist the children with court cases during their court hearings as protective and preventive measures for possible discrimination and further abuse. Children whose environment and family are hostile to their well-being are placed in a center that is safer and can provide their basic needs such as food, shelter, and education. The City Social Welfare and Development Office is also offering assistance to parents who want to adopt provided they are qualified according to the guidelines of Republic Act 8552. The local government of Cadiz hired a licensed psychologist to provide professional care to those individuals, especially children, who has mental health issues such as depression, anxiety, and suicidal instinct. One of the preventive measures done by the Women Protection Desk of Philippine National Police is conducting of symposiums, talks, dialogues, and orientation on laws protecting the rights of women and children. These activities aim to lessen the increasing number of violence and abuses against children in the city. Educating children and their parents are vital in eliminating violence and abuse. One of the key component programs of Philippine Population Management Program is the Adolescent Health and Development Program for children ages 9 to 19 years old. Its goal is to contribute to prevention teenage pregnancy and repeated pregnancy, to promote and improve total well-being of adolescents through reduction of teen pregnancy, HIV and AIDS, violence against young girls, and other mental health of teens. An online activity to connect and communicate with the learners and teachers' advisors. to provide psychosocial support and to uplift their well-being and to reduce stress amidst demands, changes, and pressures caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. An online capacity building program for student leaders, peer facilitators, guidance advocates, clinic teachers, and teacher advisors focusing on the improvement and promotion of the total well-being of young people and to providing essential information to prevent the incidence of early teenage pregnancy. An online capacity building program for elementary and secondary guidance counselors or guidance advocates in facilitating the career guidance program. The Sangguniang Kabataan as one of the leaders in ensuring that rights of the children are protected. They should be knowledgeable of the laws pertaining to children. Immunization of 0 to 12 months old children against immunizable diseases and supplemental immunization of measles, rubella, and oral polio vaccine to 0 to 59 months old children. Newborn screening is an essential public health strategy that enables the early detection and management of several congenital disorders. Prevent and control emerging and re-emerging diseases. This is a yearly activity of the Sangguniang Kabataan to help and be part of ensuring food security and equal food distribution. Last January 2021, the Sangguniang Kabataan Federation distributed food packs to victims of flash floods at Barangay Cabajo. The Sangguniang Kabataan put up a community pantry to provide food to families and individuals who were directly hit by COVID-19 pandemic. To ensure that children with disabilities can live a better life by not limiting their everyday movements, the Persons with Disability Affairs Office provided 25 pedia wheelchairs. Thirty-three youths and one solo-parent youth from different barangays in Cadiz City were chosen to avail the Self-Employment Assistance Program amounting to 5,000 each. Aside from the supplementary feeding program extended to the children enrolled in child development centers, the local government of Cadiz, through the efforts of City Social Welfare and Development Office, also provides an additional 30 days feeding to severely underweight and underweight children. The local government of Cadiz, through the CSWD office, has provided an additional fund for the supplementary feeding program in order to cater the GOP days not included in the SF of national government. Aside from the provision of hot meals and dry ration, the CSWD office allocated also small funding for the distribution of supplements in addition to the national funding. This will address the needs of the children to be physically healthy and to fight against COVID-19 virus. The Supplementary Feeding Program is a national funded program in response to the 2006 Family Income and Expenditure Survey conducted by the National Statistics Office, in which 11% of Filipino family cannot provide basic foods needed by their family for their nutritional well-being and health. This aims to augment the nutritional needs of children while enrolled in the centers. To aid mothers and other health professionals in improving and sustaining the nutritional status of children and address the medical and nutritional related problems of children, the CSWD office has provided tools to check the growth and development of every child. The CSWD office is so privileged that many non-government agencies has extended their help to the children of Cadiz. One of these is the Metrobank Cadiz branch that provided food packs and gifts to children as their way of giving hope and light in these difficult times. As part of the outreach program of McDonald's Cadiz, they provided food packs to 200 chosen daycare children of Barangay Zone 3 and 6. Last January 2021, the city of Cadiz was hit by a typhoon that caused floodings to different barangays in the city. Many NGOs and private individuals have donated and extended their help. One of them is the Coca-Cola Corporation, wherein they donated distilled water in order for the families to have a clean and safe water. Under the supplementary feeding program, every child development centers are required to have a vegetable garden and maintain its produce to be used in feedings. The supplementary feeding program of DSWD has helped not just the children but also their families. The SFP has improved the knowledge, attitude, and practices of mothers whose children are enrolled in daycare centers through the intensified nutrition and health education. To rehabilitate SUW and UW preschoolers by providing healthy food packs for 120 days. The ECCD program gives focus on health and welfare of a child starting from the first day of conception up to the second year of life. This period offers a unique window of opportunity to shape the future of every child. This period is critical and has long-lasting impact on the child's development and his or her ability to grow and learn. Children with disabilities should not be deprived of their rights to development. Hence, in order to encourage CWD, the Person with Disabilities Affairs Office provide educational assistance to children enrolled from grade 1 to senior high school. Republic Act 10410 or the Early Years Act of 2013 recognizes the age from 0 to 8 years as the first crucial stage of educational development, of which the age from 0 to 4 years shall be the responsibility of the Early Childhood Care and Development Council. This law also mandates the local government units to allocate funds to be utilized in providing facilities for the conduct of the ECCD program. In order to maintain the orderliness and child-friendliness of every child development centers in the city, the Office of City Social Welfare and Development through the ECCD Fund provided 160 gallons of paint and 200 reams of bond paper for their modular class. In spite of the rising number of COVID cases in Cadiz City, the Early Childhood Care and Development Program continues. Every children ages 2 to 4 years old must still be provided with quality education. Hence, close monitoring and follow-up is needed to ensure that services are rendered properly to children. The month of February is considered by the ECCD as Art Month. In this, the talents of children in making arts and crafts are showcased with the help of their parents. Arts and crafts making contributes to the development of the creative aspect of the child. This celebration allows the children to express what they see, feel, think, and talk about. The accreditation of every child development center and worker is essential in ensuring that CDWs and CDCs are operating based on the standards and qualification mandated by law and provided by ECCD Council. The CDW must receive an outstanding rating. Checking and reviewing of the records and programs of the CDWs are needed to pass the accreditation. The ECCD has mandated all child development workers series of activities for children. One of these is the toys production, which aims to aid children develop their motor and creativity skills. At the end of every school year, children's development are assessed through the Child Development Checklist to ensure their readiness for kindergarten. Moving up in the new normal non-face-to-face activities for the school year 2020 to 2021. Certificates of attendance or completion are given to children who finished and completed the daycare. The purpose of cluster orientation is to explain and discuss the various documents and records that need to be submitted and updated regularly. Maintaining and organizing records are important duties of every CDW in implementing the ECCD program. The month of August is considered as Buwan ng Wikang Pambansa. This year's theme is Filipino at mga wikang katutubo sa dekolonisasyon ng pag-iisip ng mga Pilipino. This is a one-day activity for the parents of preschoolers aims to upgrade the early childhood and development centers in terms of their physical structure, play art, learning materials such as toys. This is to provide children with conducive and child-friendly and learning-ready centers. Before the opening of school year 2021 to 2022, the child development workers conducted community mapping in their respective barangays for ages 0 to 4 years old, including parents' expectations and perception in the delivery of ECCD programs, especially during pandemic. After the community mapping, the CDWs are tasked to officially register their target preschoolers and their profile for recording purposes. Parents are asked to submit their child's birth certificate and health records. IATF Resolution Number 125, dated July 8, 2021, continued to restrict children below 5 years old from going outdoors. Hence, the ECCD Council advised to conduct modular sessions through the center-based program implemented in an alternative venue. The City Social Welfare and Development Office has distributed different kinds of storybooks to 116 CDWs that has moral lessons which children can learn good manners and right conduct. The purpose of Parents Effectiveness Seminar is to equip parents of their parenting role and obligations that the rights of their children are exercised and protected. These will also orient the parents of the developmental stages of their children that needs to be taken care of and addressed. The Family Development Services aims to enumerate the important elements that can strengthen parent-to-child relationship and effective way to communicate with their children. Online orientation and implementation of youth formation program anchored on the DepEd core value of makakalikasan to capacitate learners and teacher advisors' understanding regarding the establishment of Youth for Environment in Schools Organization or the YESO and awareness of prevailing environmental issues and concerns. To establish partnership and linkages in support of youth formation programs and activities. The distribution of school supplies to pupils for the opening of school year 2021 to 2022 in Sangguniang Kabataan's contribution in ensuring that children will finish their schooling on time despite of the pandemic. The Sangguniang Kabataan also participated during the Brigada Eskwela. According to the DILG Memo Circular Number 2020-214-29, states that Barangay Council for the Protection of Children must have a child representative. To ensure that no one is left behind in every welfare programs, the Youth Welfare Program of CSWD encouraged the LGBTQIA+ to participate in programs, projects, and activities of the local Youth Development Council. The Local Youth Development Council is mandated by Republic Act 10742, otherwise known as Sangguniang Kabataan Reform Act of 2015. During the regular meeting of PIAP, upcoming plans, activities, and programs are tackled to be implemented for the remaining months of 2021. Section 30 of Republic Act No. 10742, also known as the Sangguniang Kabataan Reform Act of 2015, mandates the observance of Linggo ng Kabataan in every barangay, municipality, city, and province on the week where the 12th of August falls to coincide with International Youth Day. A youth-oriented talk show for the learners of the Division of Cadiz that will broadcast a series of episodes via Facebook Live at DepEd Tayo Youth Formation Cadiz City Facebook page. An online division federation election of the elected school's Supreme Pupil Government or Supreme Student Government Officers and Advisors. This is to establish a functional division federation of Supreme Pupil Government or Supreme Student Government Officers, which serves as a mechanism for student consultations, sources of feedback, and policy recommendations on issues and concerns that affect them. Sangguniang Kabataan, Health Kabataan kontra Droga at Terorismo Youth Sector Peace Rally Advocacy with Cadiz City PNP. The Sangguniang Kabataan participated during the Environmental Awareness Month through tree planting to save the nature and eliminate climate change. The Local Council for the Protection of Children, as mandated by law, is doing its part in ensuring that the rights of children are properly observed through the various programs implemented by the different agencies and departments in the city.
My dear Cadizeños, the COVID-19 pandemic has severely challenged our capacity and our resiliency as a city. Since its onset on January 20 until this day, the level of threat and risks that this pandemic brings should not be underrated. Last year have been very tough for us, and this year is actually harder because the spike of the confirmed cases is overwhelming the past few months. It is still evolving. The children are significantly impacted by the ongoing pandemic, as much as it did to adults. The mortality rate in the children may be very low, but it has immediate socio-economic impacts, severe emotional and psychological effects to them. Restrictions and lockdowns aggravate poverty and malnutrition in children. Continuing school closures further delay learning and pose higher risks of dropouts, child abuse and violence, child labor, and early marriage are just some of the child protection risks, while measures are undertaken to contain the virus. That is why we continuously work hard and give our utmost in our fight against the disease, against the virus. This is why we continue to work harder and give our utmost to fight against the virus. Especially with our vaccination program, we intensify our implementation by going our way out to far-flung barangays, bringing the vaccines at the convenience of the residents. We have also started vaccinating children 12 years old and above. At this point, I would like to commend our range of actors who seriously took the challenge pronounced last year in the same occasion in my 2020 State of the Children's Address, just 2020. I asked you then to go an extra mile, innovate and develop strengths, strategies where children's welfare won't take a backseat, and at this time of the pandemic, where children's right for survival, development, protection, and participations are not compromised while we tightly impose and implement health and safety measures and other pressing yet vital responses against COVID-19. I have seen your untiring effort and hard work in ensuring that programs and services are accessible to children and their families. On a new normal platform and means, you have put your heart and head on all your work, a true manifestation of altruism at its best. And for that, I am grateful to your person, your responses, and selfish services. I would like also to make special mention the frontline agencies in the Child and Youth Welfare Program, both in local and national government units, such as the City Social Welfare Development Office, the City Health Office, the City Nutrition Office, the City Population Office, the Office of the Sangguniang Kabataan, the Department of Education, Cadiz City Division, the Women and Children's Protection Desk of the City PNP, the Department of Justice through our local counterpart in the City Prosecutor's Office and Regional Trial Courts, the Cadiz City Local Council for the Protection of Children, the 22 barangay councils for the protection of children, and other non-government organizations, civil society organizations, and faith-based organizations. I would like also to express my appreciation to the department heads and employees of the city government of Cadiz, the different offices who continuously deliver efficient services amidst the difficulties and strains in their personal and work realm. My appreciation goes as well to the good members of the Sangguniang Panlungsod of the City of Cadiz, headed by the Honorable Lilia O. Di Colungon, for crafting and coming up with policies to appropriately respond to the present crisis and mitigate impacts to the effect and vulnerable sectors and all Cadiznos, as well as the non-residents coming in and out of our city. This year's celebration of Children's Month carries the theme, New Normal na, walang iwanan, karapatan ng bawat bata atin tutukan. This gives us not just another challenge, but an inspiration to remain steadfast and committed to fulfill the rights of every child and ensure that no child is left behind on this new normal condition. We all need to adjust to the changes brought about by time. Recently, I, together with Rene Antonio Chua Jr., our CDRRMO head, received a plaque of appreciation, of recognition for, in behalf of the city government of the City of Cadiz, COVID-19 Interagency Task Force as Outstanding Negrense, given by no less than Negros Occidental Governor Eugenio Bong Lacson during the Pasidungog 2021 at the provincial capital last November 5, 2021. This recognition honors the officials and dedicated frontline services providers, workers of our city for the unwavering courage, commitment, and consistency in serving Cadiz City amidst the pandemic. Today, we see hope. We are rising above COVID-19 pandemic as our cases are now significantly dropping off. We will continue to be united, work hard, and fight COVID-19 until a single case will totally be gone. Let's make our city truly a child-friendly Cadiz City. Madamo gid na salamat. Bilis Cadiz, Ugyon Cadiznon. Mabuhay ang syudad sa Cadiz.